Hey guys, time for Daily Share. Today is Tuesday, April 7th. I'm excited to spend this time with you and just keep your heart and mind open just to receive what God has for you today. I want to share something with you from Isaiah 61:3, and it says, "To appoint unto them that mourn in Zion, to give unto them beauty for ashes, the oil of joy for mourning, the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness, that they might be called trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he might be glorified." And as I was going about today, I just kept thinking on this verse, and I just kept thinking how many times I have given him something so ugly, something so terrible, and he turned it into something beautiful and wonderful, and something that was such a beautiful testimony and just a testament of what he is and what he can do for us and what he wants to do for his children. And I think back on the greatest example in my life of him giving me something wonderful for something terrible. And that's just when I gave my life to him. All I had to give him was a life full of sin and darkness. And in return for that, he didn't give me the punishment that I deserved. He gave me forgiveness and grace and mercy and love. And I mean, what a powerful, powerful example of what he wants for his children. He's so unlike the mentality of the world. He doesn't give us an eye for an eye, which is what we deserve. He doesn't punish us when we come to him for forgiveness. He gives us forgiveness when we don't deserve it. And when we give him these ugly situations and these things that we just don't know how we're going to make it through, when we give him that spirit of heaviness, the times that we feel overwhelmed and just we can't bear anymore, we can't take anymore, when we finally hand that over to him, it says he'll give us the garment of praise. He'll lift all that from us and we'll feel so free and so, ready to just praise and worship him because we know he's in control. And it says when we give him ashes, and I just can't help but think of so many times in my life when I've made it through something and there was nothing left but debris. I mean, it just looked like a disaster area in my life, and there was nothing left but ashes because everything was burned up in that trial. But when I gave him those ashes, he gave me something so beautiful in return, and that's what he wants for us. He wants to do those things for us, those scary things, those things that we just don't know how to face or how to deal with. It's those things that he wants us to give him, because he wants to give us something so wonderful and beautiful in return. And I'm just so thankful for that today. I can just look back and see so many situations that I've said, God, to me, this looks hideous and ugly and terrible, and I don't know what you're doing here or how I'm going to get through this. But once I gave it up to him, once I laid it down on that altar and said, "Here, Lord, this is yours, not mine anymore. I need you to carry the weight of this, not me." And in return, he gives me that garment of praise, that oil of joy for my mourning. And I'm just so thankful for that today. I'm just so thankful that in return for my ugly situations and my ugly sins and all these things, he gives me something beautiful, something so much more than I could ever deserve or earn. He gives it to me anyway because he loves me so much, and because it says that he wants us to be found righteous. He wants us to be a part of him. I mean, he wants us to represent him well and be representatives of what he can do in people's lives, what he can do with just an ordinary person, because that's all I am, and he's done some of these wonderful things for me. So if he can do it for me, he can do it for those around me. And he wants us to be examples of that, of how he can take something so ugly and turn it into something beautiful. And it's also that he'll be glorified. He wants to give us these wonderful things so that he'll be glorified in the end. And he doesn't want us to have to go through all these things. And to have to suffer the ashes and the mourning and the heaviness. He wants us to turn all of it over and give us something great in return. So don't hang on to those things you think are too big, or just, it's just too much. I've gone too far. I've strayed too far away. There's no way he'd ever forgive me. There's no way he would ever, help me because I've created such a mess in my life. That's all a lie. God will take any situation and make it beautiful if we really give it to Him, and if we really give our lives to Him and dedicate that to Him. And just like the woman at the well, she had such an ugly situation. She had been married umpteen times. She was living with a man she didn't even know, and she had all this stuff going on. And he said, listen, he said, go and don't do it anymore, but get yourself straight, and I'll be there to help you through this. So he made a beautiful testimony. He said, everywhere that the gospel's preached, I'm gonna tell them of this situation. And I mean, how powerful is that? How wonderful is that? How wonderful is our God? How awesome is He that He would give us something so beautiful, in exchange for nothing but ashes and ugliness, and that He suffered so much ugliness and had so many terrible situations that He went through just to be able to give us these things. And through His ugly situations, through His crucifixion, through His beatings, we have healing and forgiveness of sin, and we have the most beautiful love story ever written, all because of some ugly situations. And I'm so thankful for that today. I hope this blesses you in some way and just encourages you to give those things over to Him and just see what He has in return for that. So until next time, just be blessed and know that I am praying for you and that I love you.